The story of Ideli and Kioma. They hate me because I'm crippled. Somewhere in the vibrant continent of Africa, where diversity reigns, a tale of struggle, wickedness, and unconditional love was unfolding. This is the story of Ideli, a beautiful young girl whose life has been a real struggle. On the day of Ideli's birth, her father lost his life. Her mother, Chioma, was left to raise her alone in a small adobe house, determined to care for her daughter despite the challenges they faced. "Your daughter is sick due to some hormonal difficulties she encountered while in your belly," was the sentence that Kioma's gynecologist told her after giving birth to Ideli. "She can't walk," he added. However, as a nurse, Kioma knew the importance of seeking a second opinion. 2 months later, another doctor confirmed the diagnosis but added a grim suggestion. "You can proceed with a very expensive and risky operation, but it could lead to her death." Chioma was taken aback, but held on to hope that one day her daughter would walk again. Fast forward to the present, Ideli is now 8 years old. She lives a lonely life, with no friends due to her condition. But her mother always tries to cheer her up. On this Monday morning, Chioma dressed Ideli in her school uniform and packed her lunch. They waited for their keke na pepe, the local transport. "Good morning, Chioma," greeted Mr. Abiola, the keke na pepe driver. "Good morning, Mr. Abiola." "Ideli, my daughter, you are still reading?" he remarked, happy to see her studying. Ideli smiled and nodded by saying, "Yes, uncle, I want to become a doctor, so I have to study." Abiola laughed and carried Ideli to the keke, where he helped her sat down before starting driving. After a short ride, Chioma and Abiola dropped Ideli off at school and headed to the hospital where Chioma worked. Little did she know, devastating news awaited her. "Chioma!" called out a nurse, panic in her voice. "The manager and Dr. Laurie want to see you." Hesitantly, Chioma headed to the manager's office. She was met with a cold accusation. "You injected the wrong medication to our patient in room 132. The patient nearly died." Just as Chioma was about to defend herself, Laurie displayed the security footage, showing Chioma as the last nurse to enter the room. Chioma knew Laurie was behind this, and explaining this to her lover manager is useless. So, she kept quiet. The manager fired her, marking her record and threatening her with a complaint. Heartbroken, Chioma returned home, tears streaming down her face. Years passed, and Chioma struggled to make ends meet. They were forced to move in with Ideli's late father's family, where Ideli faced relentless bullying at school and mistreatment at home. At school, Ideli faced many assaults and bullying because she has disability. But despite all odds, Ideli was determined to study hard and make her mother proud. She can vividly remember what one of her professors at school told her when she asked a question that she didn't understand in class. The professor told her, "You should go and beg on the street instead of being at school. See, you can't understand anything." That sentence hurt her so much. But it was nothing compared to the bullying she experienced at home with her aunties and uncles. "Hey, cripple," or "Hey, useless." They would shout some of her uncles and their children. Ideli would remain silent, determined to study hard and make her mother proud, since she saw how hard her mother worked in that family house to be able to provide them with little food. Ideli's father's family hate Chioma and her daughter so much. So, they agreed to let them stay in their house with a condition that Chioma will become their maid. Chioma accepted, having no other way. The owner of their house chased them because of 1 year of no payment. Chioma was an orphan. She has nowhere to go except this house. Despite the mistreatment, their face she and her daughter, they stayed. From the day they entered this house, Ideli's smile was limited. She became like a robot. Her only work was studying. The only moment she found joy was at night, when her mom finished all the work and came to sit with her in their small room. Ideli's life went on like this for 5 years. Fast forward, Ideli is now 14 and started feeling extreme pain in her feet. Chioma used her savings to take Ideli to the hospital, where the doctor delivered grave news. Ideli needed immediate surgery. Chioma was devastated, crying, "I'm useless. I can't help you, Ideli. I'm not worthy of being your mother." But Ideli, with unwavering faith, replied, "No, Mom, don't be sad. God is with us." To not make her mother worried, Ideli will sometimes hide to cry as the pain persevere. They persevered in that condition. Until the day of Ideli's 18th birthday, Chioma prepared a surprise gift, a cake and surgery agreement that would change Ideli's life forever. Around 6 p.m., Chioma was happy as she approached Ideli with the birthday cake that she had managed to make. "Mom, this is so tasty. I like it." "Thanks so much," said Ideli, hugging her mother tightly. Despite her feelings, Chioma managed to smile and handed a paper to Ideli. "Here it is, Ideli," said Chioma. Her eyes filled with mixed emotions. "What is it, Mom?" asked Ideli, smiling, taking the envelope and opening it. "I saw how much you suffer, Ideli, so I decided to give you this as a gift," said Chioma, her voice barely above a whisper. As Ideli saw what was inside the envelope, tears started streaming down her face. "Mom, you actually did it," said Ideli, emotional, crying with joy. Just then a question swirled in Ideli's mind. "Mom, where did you find such money to do my surgery?" she asked. Chioma's face changed from happiness to sorrow. However, she quickly hid it by saying, "No, it's the little money that I've saved. Also, I sold a piece of land that belonged to your father so that you can have the surgery." Ideli happily believed what her mother had told her. After the emotional night, Chioma and Ideli got ready to head to the hospital where the renowned Dr. Mansour would come to perform the surgery on Ideli. Dr. Mansour was someone known as a genius doctor. However, he only performs 5 surgeries each year. This year, he decided to come back to his country and perform surgeries at affordable prices for people in need. He had already done 4 surgeries, and Ideli was the 5th one. The entire surgery cost 20 million naira, which was not even 1% of what he used to charge for a surgery. They went to the hospital, and Ideli was awaited next to the hospital door. As they arrived, Ideli was helped by nurses until arriving at the room where she had to change and take all the necessary injections before the surgery began. Chioma asked the nurses to let her help her daughter get ready, since she used to be a nurse. They hesitatingly let her in. After finishing dressing Ideli up, Chioma knelt and whispered some words in Ideli's ears. "You are stronger than you think. You will survive all odds and become an important person," she said before it was time for Ideli to enter the operating room. Dr. Mansour promised Chioma that he would do his best. Ideli weakly waved at her mother, tears streaming down her face. Just as the operating room door closed, Chioma fainted. She was rushed to a doctor, but it was too late. Chioma had died from kidney failure, having sacrificed her life for her daughter's chance at happiness. What people didn't know is that Chioma had always had kidney issues. One of her kidneys was sick, so it was only the other one that was functioning well. Chioma, wanting to help her daughter get better life, escape bullying and assault, decided to sacrifice her life. She had asked one of her sisters-in-law to help her, as she was the wealthy one in the family. But Awa refused to help Kioma with money for her daughter's surgery. However, Awa gave Kioma a suggestion, saying, "If you give me your kidney, I will give you the money in cash. We will sign the documents so that you will be assured." Kioma, desperate, accepted the deal. Awa, on her side, did this because her boss desperately needed a kidney. And Awa had tested all her family members. Only Kioma's kidney was a match. When she approached Kioma with that proposal, she refused to give her kidney, wanting to stay healthy and alive for her daughter, Ideli. But recently, when Kioma heard that Dr. Mansour was about to come to the city, she accepted Awa's offer. Despite the doctors warning her that it might take her life since her other kidney was already sick, Kioma accepted, seeing a chance for her daughter to be happy. Back to the present, Ideli's surgery was successful, and Dr. Mansour informed her about the devastating news. Anger and sorrow flooded her heart. But she remembered her mother's strength and fought to recover. The doctor, seeing this, took care of Ideli until she recovered, which was the first time he had done such a thing in his life. Stay and take care of a patient himself after surgery. But something about Ideli drew his attention closer to her. Years went by, and Ideli learned to walk again. She became a beacon of hope, marrying Dr. Mansour, become a cardiologist herself, and gave birth to 3 children. She and her little family lived in England until years later, when she decided to return to her homeland to build a hospital in her mother's honor. Kioma Care. Those who had wronged her and her mother were left ashamed, while Ideli flourished, proving that love and sacrifice can change the course of life. This is the story of Kioma, a mother who sacrificed everything for her daughter, Ideli, and a daughter who transformed her pain into purpose. Remember, life can change at any moment. Hold on to hope, for love conquers all. Thank you, my lovely viewers, for watching my video. Kindly like, subscribe, comment, and share the video with your friends and family.